Hey, what is up? What is up? We are black and we are back. Y'all heard me singing a little bit of something that I was thinking about when I was writing it for all you bitches out there that need a nigga in your life. I want you to sit on my face, bitch. Enjoy the day, cause you look so good to me. Ooh, yeah. Turn this clown ass shit down. I don't want to give you all this. I'm working on a new album. It's called Don't Forget Your Nigga, Bitch. Cause he's right on his way. What is going on? What is going on? We are back and we are black. You know what it is. I am Warren G in your place to be. Been clown and sucker free since 2003. Yeah. You know, hey, this is the weekend. For all y'all that gotta work on the weekend, much power, respect to y'all. I know how that shit is. That shit is not easy as a motherfucker. You know, I know how it can be. The shit is not fun. From time to time, I have to work on the goddamn weekend. That shit is not fun. But you know what? You gotta get it in. You gotta get it how you live, and you gotta live how you get it. So, whatever the fuck that means. Anyway, for all you that's on the corporate plantation, much power and respect to y'all. Hey, once again, I'm gonna tell y'all, go check out blackandnoble.com. That's where I get my sea moss from and my black soap, as far as, you know, just things and supporting black businesses or melanated businesses. Also, check out Freedom Paper Company. So if you got assholes that need to be wiped, you know, they got toilet tissue, they got black soap and all that. That is by the Nation of Islam. Go check them out. I don't just be on here talking that shit. I actually do the shit. I don't just talk about supporting black businesses and don't do it. So yes, I do. I'm on my last tail end of the sea moss. I got to get some more. I'm going to get a whole bunch of that sea moss. They soap is bomb too, by the way. I love Sean with they soap. I don't be itchy and scratchy like always. Shit, look, I'm on the phone right now ordering some shit. Man, for real. But anyway, I thought I'd just hit y'all real quick with some new. Look, I'm on my phone. Yeah, this shit is hood anyway. Fuck what y'all niggas going through. This shit ain't on TV. Matter of fact, my shit is better than TV. Fuck what y'all niggas going through. My shit go hard. Shit, I talk about real shit on here. To the point to where my shit they took down one of my damn videos. Cause I was going hard. But anyway, hey, we about to get into it. Look. Man, let's get into it real quick. Felicity Huffman sentenced to 14 days in Fed prison. Now, that's all this bitch got. Was 14 days in Fed prison and you cheating, paying niggas to go take tests and shit. And that's all they gave this bitch was 14 days. And now she's playing woe is me. And Lori Loughlin, look, now that bitch is scared. Now the other white bitch is nervous. Like, oh shit. We actually got to do time? Yeah, bitch, you got to do time. Like everybody else. I don't understand this. Now, I was trying to research as I was looking on my phone too for the sister who sent her kid to the wrong school, you know, in the wrong zone, and they sent her to jail. And all she did was send her kid to the wrong school. And these motherfuckers was lying and cheating. And here's the thing that I wanted to get on the most. They will always change they'll change the goalposts when it comes to melanated brothers and sisters. Once we learn how to navigate through this system and play the game that they have invented, because it's actually their game. They are the authors of this narrative as far as this game being played. You are an author, so when you go don't start trying to go off and be all philosophical about other books, especially when it comes to European history, and then you don't even want to know what the fuck is going on with us. That's called being on code. So, with that being said, we got to understand what it is. I always say that every week. Understand what it is. Understand the game that you're playing. Felicity Huffman knew what the fuck she was doing. Very good actress. Almost to the fact that she's almost believable outside of this TV shit. When you look at her, you're like, damn, she looks so sad. But that's all an act. She's probably one of the greatest thespians we probably know in today's society. Seeing how she could shift characters when you watch American Crime. She went from a wife working on a farm to a principal that was an asshole. Go watch American Crime. It had Andre 3000, Andre Benjamin on there, and Regina King. But she's a great thespian. Not lesbian, but thespian. So she's a great actor. You know what I mean? So this doesn't fool me. Her and Lori Loughlin. Aunt Becky from Full House. Well, Aunt Becky, guess what? Your house is going to be full of inmates Guilty, nigga, because your ass is going to prison too. So they better throw the book at that bitch and give her more time. And I don't understand how Felicity Huffman, now you was cheating, lying, stealing for your child, doing all this fuckery, and all you got was 14 days. They gave the cookbook bitch more time than they gave her. So I don't understand that. Cheating is cheating. Now let a melanated, don't think they not looking for melanated brothers and sisters. If y'all don't think that they are looking for melanated brothers and sisters to prosecute and persecute, you are sadly mistaken. And that is a fact. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that you got to know. Let me tell you something. When you watch these things, because like when I'm looking at it, I'm reading, I'm like, damn, Felicity Huffman, you going in. I mean, you just acting like, you didn't do nothing wrong. But here's the thing, though. How are we in any type of correlation to this? Let me tell you how. A melanated sister who sent her kid to a school that wasn't in her district, they threw the book, they threw everything and the kitchen sink at that black bitch. Like, oh, bitch, guilty. You can't do that. These are not the type of rules no. These are only rules. Translation, you're a nigger, so you can't do what we do. You're a nigger, and we are not. And that's exactly what it's about. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm reading this book by Linthrop Stoddard, The Rising Tide of Color, or something like that. I don't know exactly what but the book is actually pretty good. It takes place, it's written from a perspective of like the early 1900s, and it talks about how they didn't want, the Asians and the melanated people to get together and all this other stuff. It's very, very, very good book. It's different, but it's a very good book. I think we need to start educating ourselves and understanding what's actually going on. We have to know what being on code is. Because I don't think we know what being on code is a lot of the times. When I look at Felicity Huffman, she's on code. She's on code with the system. Hey, you're not a nigger, so don't worry. We just want you to get out there. Just plead guilty for the niggers and for all the dumb people society. Make them feel good about what we're doing to you. Bad Felicity. Bad Felicity. Man, please. And in a couple of months, these niggers in the general population will forget about you, and you can go and live your life, and we'll put you in even more movies. We'll give you a book deal. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you right now. She'll probably get a book deal. She'll probably be all over. You notice she just was on a major thing on Netflix with Angela Bassett and I forgot the other lady. It's so funny. Nobody has backed away from her from these movie deals and these television shows, but let a nigga do one thing. Let him scratch his ass the wrong way. Guilty, nigga. We're pulling all our sponsorship from this nigger. No, nigger, you fucked up, nigger. No. That's it for you. That's it. You get one chance and that's it. You're a guilty, dumb nigger, and I knew you would, and I knew you would fuck up, and that's it. That's it. We're done with niggers. Let's go get niggers from out of let's go get the you niggas and all that. I'm not like that's why I'm so sick of, especially, what's her name? Issa Rae. No diss, but it's so funny how her and Yvonne Orji, you look at they interviews, the first thing they do, I'm Nigerian. Nigga, you're black, you're melanated. That's the problem. They know we're not on code. They know how to separate us. Those are the things that I don't like, because we don't know what a code is and what it's about. One day we will. One day. I always say that. One day we will. Maybe when the corporate America, aka the corporate plantation, kick your ass enough and let you know, sit your ass down and call you a nigger a couple of times and let you know you have no power here, you have no authority here, you have no jurisdiction here. You're a nigger and you do what we tell you to do. Then eventually somebody of some type of influence will wake up and be like, hey man, that shit is a sham. We all slaves. They don't give a fuck about niggas. They treat niggas like shit on the corporate plantation. Maybe somebody else that would a social influence, as far as Instagram and Twitter and on Facebook and all this, will come out and straight say it. Like, hey, they treat niggas like shit on the corporate plantation in corporate America, period. Corporate America is not designed for melanated people to progress, in my perspective, from my studies and the things that I have read. It's just not. It's not designed. You read A Compensatory Counter-Racist Code. You read The Fall of America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You read Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGruy. Read The New Jim Crow. You read these books. Read Dr. Francis Quelsing's The ISIS Papers. You start reading these things and you know you have to dumb down who you are anywhere anyway, especially if you are well versed in education or you are self-educating yourself as far as reading, then you will be able to see past this Felicity Huffman 14 days in prison. Now, how is it that you're supposed to, I was reading this Twitter, shout out to my homegirl on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Me and her was texting back and forth. You know what? I'm blanking on her name right now, but I be forgetting names when I be on here. I be forgetting a lot of shit when I be on her, but on here. But it was something that she tweeted me about this Caucasian lady saying, "Oh, I don't see color" and all this other shit. And I was just like, "Nigga, what?" And I was like, I was reading this shit, and I was like, man, the first thing I tweeted, I think it was to a news station. Shout out to my homegirl, Lady O, aka I ain't gonna say, I'm just gonna say Lady O, on Twitter, and she had tweeted me something about this lady talking about she don't see color and all this other shit, and I just kind of was like, man, nigga, please. There's a book called White Fragility. Go get that book. Just look it up on Amazon. It's called White Fragility. Fragility. Go get that book. It's a very good book. It talks about how Europeans, Caucasians, they deflect and they don't want to see what's in front of them, and everything is good and there is no race and we don't see race. Those are the little code words and how they deflect and how they dodge shit. You know, they use coding like, oh, I don't see race, I don't see color. That's bullshit. They see color, they see race first, and then they see intellect. That's why when you open up your mouth and you, especially if you like, oh, I read, they don't know how to associate melanated people with knowledge, because for the last 400 years, they framed this picture that knowledge and melanated people don't go hand in hand. Knowledge and melanated people is like oil and water. That's why I feel, in my perspective, like that's why the books on Amazon are so expensive now. And the reason why I say they're so expensive and they cost so much compared to when I first started even buying books, like, and that was 4 years ago, because I think they know that a lot of people are awakening from their sleep. A lot of people are jacking out of the matrix and understanding what they need to do. These are just things that, you know, I look at, because when you look at Felicity Huffman, you look at Lori Loughlin, you know, look, I'll even talk about the e-cigarette situation with the tobacco thing. Now, all of a sudden, e-cigarettes is fucking with people's lungs and shit. Hey, what's going on, Shawty? Hey, man, I had to get it up early. I've been busy as a motherfucker, man. I'm still plotting behind the scenes little podcast. I got to link up with Nuke. Nuke is super busy. Shout out to her. But man, I've been like working behind the scenes, working on music, doing all kinds of stuff to get this shit going. But it's gonna get there. It's gonna get there. But the thing that trips me out the most about the e-cigarette shit, I had a blue cigarette. I had a blue cig in like 2012, 2011. 2011, 2012, I had them when they first like hit the scene, before they were selling them in retail stores. And I remember I used to smoke, and I remember I used to fuck with people, long story short, because I remember at my little sister's graduation, it was at the Orleans, and I was smoking it in there, and they was like, you can't smoke that. And I was like, this is an electric cigarette. So it's like an electronic, it's vapor. And they was like, oh, I thought it was lit. And I was like, nah. Oh, for sure. I'm gonna tell her you said what's up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna text her right when I get off the air or whatever the fuck. And the dude was like, oh. So then everybody started coming to me and asked me, hey man, where you get that from? Woo. This like 2011, 2012, right? Now, this is before all the other vape things was going on. This is when e-cigarettes were brand new. That's why, you know, I don't trip off stuff like that. And I'll never forget, everywhere I would go, people would ask me, where did you get that? I got family members that can vet these stories. They'll tell you, I had that shit way before everybody. I was smoking them shits. I'm a trendsetter, not a follower. I don't like to follow what everybody else do. Fuck that. So, I used to smoke them shits, and I was like, damn, this is better than a cigarette. And then when you done, you could get the rechargeable one, or you just get another one. Well, I was getting it from this one bitch that I knew, and she was getting them, and then I would take them and smoke them, whatever. These are e-cigarettes, no problems. I never had no chest problems and nothing like that, right? Then all of a sudden, now you start to see, by like 2013, now it started to become prevalent, because I had them in 2011. And then 2013, and then 2014, it started to become real super big. Like where now you got the ones where you put the liquid, and then you put the pen, and then you smoke it, and it's got all these different flavors. And long story short, I stopped by then. I was like, all right, I ain't really into it that much no more. I'm over it. So then I started to see a look in a trend. I'm like, ooh. And I wish I would have said this on YouTube in 2014. I was like, the tobacco industry is not going to like this. And the reason why I said that is because I was like, that means more motherfuckers is going to stop smoking cigarettes and start vaping, e-cigaretting, and then each company is going to try to come out with their own e-cigarette thing. I was like, it's just going to be a problem for the tobacco industry. Now look at it. Now those same commercials that the tobacco industry used to get flack for smoking cigarettes, now e-cigarettes are getting them too. Because the tobacco industry has Philip Morris and Company. These motherfuckers got the strong arm on this industry. They're not letting nobody into that. Just like when I look at the weed industry. Mark my words, you heard it here first. There's going to be a matter of time before you're going to start seeing people get ill from smoking at these damn smoke shops and this nasty, gutty ass weed that they probably selling people that licensed food. Look at the bird flu, the avian flu, the swine flu. Now it's the flu vaccination. It's all these other things that we got to be worried about. Now it's the e-cigarettes. That's why once you start to read and think of things differently and have a different perspective, you're not going to view things the same, and you're going to have a different understanding. If y'all want to quote the Bible, and the Bible says, all I get an understanding. So you should have an understanding that anything that they put in front of you, they're framing this picture, and it's just not just about your health. Because if that's the case, why every other commercial is Carl's Jr. and Arby's and McDonald's and Jack in the Box? And they know what it's doing. You eating Jack in the Box, and then you going goddamn to the gastroenterologist. I know, because I was a nigga that I was a fast food connoisseur. That's why I got to rewrite my wrongs and start drinking sea moss and drinking alkaline water and drinking lemon water with spring water and dealing with Tahuti Ma'at Ra. Go check him out. He's out of LA. He's in Hidden Colors 5, natural herbalist, Queen of Fua. You have to block. Let's start doing the things that we need to do to move our people forward. And the first thing, we got to eat better. And that was a lot of the things that I had to learn and reteach myself. Besides reading, I had to learn how to eat better. I couldn't eat red meat and do all these things. And I'm not on here to preach, but I'm just saying, when you go to these Jesus Said It churches, what they feeding you? Pork chops, chicken, all this other stuff that is very harmful for you. They're not feeding you veggie burgers. And I'm not talking about Impossible Meat and Beyond the Meat and all. I'm talking about with chickpeas, Ty's Conscious Kitchen, those type of things. These are the things that we need to be feeding our people. I'm not saying I eat healthy every day. Don't let them trick you into that buffoonery, fuckery ass stereotype that watermelon is a stereotype. No, watermelon is one of the most alkaline things you can eat. But we have to have a different frame of mind. You got to reframe your mind first. You got to reconstruct your thought patterns. Then each one has to teach one. Oh yeah, it's a store called Herbology popping up all over Philly. Good. Is it black owned? Is it melanated owned? Because man, that's the thing that I want to link up with. We need an herbologist. We need an herbologist out here in Vegas, man. We really need one, and I'll be the main one supporting. Now, melanated herbologist, because I feel like the science comes from us, and we need that, and we need to like interwoven it into we need to have a correlation effect between herbologists, and then you have voodoo, you have our ancient African sciences, and these are the things that I want to get into, because We have been taught that voodoo, all those things are bad for us, but they're actually not. There are sciences. While the dominant society is studying that, we're studying the King James Version. And we're praising Cesare Borgia. I just got that book in the other day. The Borgias and Their Enemies. I can't wait to read that shit. These are things that I want to speak on, because when you look at people like Felicity Huffman, I'm not mad. I'm just like, damn, people don't even get it. She got 14 days for just cheating. You're already ahead of the game because you're European, you're Caucasian in America. The rules are set up for you. The Constitution was wrote for you. That's why I can't stand when people be like, our forefathers that built this. First of all, your forefathers are some fucking posers. They are trustees of this landmass. They do not own this landmass. They are not aboriginal to this landmass. They're not. They're not the native aboriginals to this landmass. Melanated people are. The Moors. The Moors are Indians. The Indians are Moors. And I'm not talking about Cherokee. Now, fuck all that. That's why they get a clowns. They just give them a little reservation in a clown ass casino that they don't give us no money to. They don't donate none of that money to no melanated shit. When Trayvon Martin got shot in the street, where were the Native Americans at then? But when Donald Trump wanted to turn them hoes on the motherfuckers, they wanted black and brown together. Fuck that. Tired of that shit, man. I'm going to check it out. Herbology popping up. Check out the stock. All right. Herbology. Okay. I'm going to check it out. Anything that's being traded on the stock market, you always want to take into account what it is. They got weed stock on. I got stock in weed. Let me tell you something. Like I was talking to my family about, man, look, they got everybody thinking that stock is gambling, right? And they got to think that stock is dangerous. And you know why? Because that's occult knowledge. That's esoteric to us, which means hidden. Like, we don't know what it is. So since we don't know what it is, we're afraid of it. I used to be the same way too. I used to be so afraid of the stock. I was like, oh man, I don't fuck with them white people. Shit, them white people robbing people on stock. But then when you start realizing like, oh, well, everything you do and everything that's being traded, you too, on the stock market. This mic I'm speaking on, this laptop that's MacBook Pro, Apple. I have stock in Apple. You better go get it. Microsoft. If you have Microsoft, Windows, that's being traded on the stock market. There's nothing. You cannot wake up in the morning and utilize anything that's not being traded on the stock market for the most part. 90% of the things that you use and touch is being traded on the stock market. The food that you're eating, the car that you drive. So if you drive a Honda, Toyota, Nissan, Subaru, Volkswagen, Cadillac, Ford, Porsche, all being traded on the stock market. You can look it up. That's a fact. It is not easy at all. And the reason why I say it's not easy, because I think a lot of the times it's your surrounding and who you're around. You know what I mean? Go get that knowledge. If you know somebody that's Hebrew Israelite, sit down and pick their brain. If you know somebody that's God body, 5% Nation of God of Earth, sit down and pick their brain. A 5%er. If they Nation of Islam, pick their brain. Understand where they coming from. Don't just be like, oh, they Nation of Islam, they preach hate. Stop thinking that. I think we've been told that because that's fear of the unknown. If you don't know the religion, then you're going to be fearful of it. See, that's the difference. When you deal with the Nation of Islam, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches, and I've heard him say it 1,000 times, you can't talk bad about no religion you don't know nothing about. Go check out the speech where he was talking about Scientology and the exorcising of demons, the auditing program that they have in Scientology. That's what he talks about. That's why I love the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because he can tell you about the Torah. He can tell you about Christianity, Church of God in Christ, Shriners, Masonry. He can tell you about all those things. He's well versed in that. Your local church, ask him about Masonry. Ask him about where it originated from. Ask them. They're going to be like, oh, no, that's evil. That's witchery. You know, that type of shit. So it's like each one has to teach one. And don't take the knowledge and use it and abuse it and use the power so you can be fighting with preachers and shit. I ain't into that. I know people and relatives that are into Jesus said and all that. I don't argue with them. I just listen to their piece and just keep it moving, because that's some people, that's all they know is that Bible and all the codes that's in that Bible. They don't know about numerology and the code knowledge of zodiac signs and the moon and the stars and the chapters. They don't know about any of that stuff. But you can't knock them for that and look down on them like they crazy. What you have to do is you got to understand what it is you're supposed to be doing with that knowledge. And it should not be arguing with somebody else. That's why you have to be slow to speak, eager to hear when you get around people that you know is probably not well versed in different things. You just gotta listen to what they say and go about their way. I don't personally, when I get out in public and I go places, I'm not there to argue with people. I'm not there to be arguing with people. For what? Debating. You got etymology. Remember this. Religion means to bind, to control. That's what religion means. That's the etymology of religion. You know what I mean? These are just things that on layman's terms I'm gonna tell you about, because these books, get you a Black's Law dictionary so you can understand what some of these laws mean and some of the things mean. You know what I mean? It'll trip you out. You could go and jot something down and go look up and reference it. Let me read something from chat. Potguy.com says it's the biggest Philadelphia trade for marijuana. Potguy.com. All right, well, I'm gonna look that up. I'm looking at the chat room right now and we talking about stocks, so I'm definitely about to look that up. You know what I'm saying? But these are just things that I think is very important, because what we'll do is we'll look at people like Aunt Becky from Full House and Felicity Huffman, and we'll look at them and be like, well, no, that needs to be brought to your attention, and know that that's not going to happen to you. Because if you try to cheat and put your kids in USC or whatever and try to cheat and do some shit like that, guess what's going to happen to you? Guilty, nigga. They send your ass to federal prison. You going to do about 2 years versus her ass is going to do 14 days. But I'm telling you, I'm looking that up right now and see what the Okay. Yeah, man. These are just things that, I was looking at. I'm like, wow, now the tobacco industry is coming for e-cigarettes. So it won't be long. Now, if I was y'all better look twice before you start buying these e-cigarettes, because now they fucking with them. Now I feel like they're designing them to blow up on people and fuck with your lungs and do all kinds of fuckery shit to you. I think that's all a program. Just like the food industry. The Impossible Burger. See, but they're not telling you what's in it, though. Give all the ingredients in this Impossible Burger. Beyond Meat. But I know Beyond Meat, that stock is like $178 a share. See, when we step outside of our everyday pattern of thinking and start looking at things differently, you'll start to absorb. Same as always. You'll have a different perspective on things, and you won't be so quick to be like, oh, I ain't fucking with that. That's why I tell family members and people, hey man, fuck with the stock. Whether you like it or not. I don't care if you're in a home. I don't care if you're in an apartment. Your shit is being traded on the stock market. Camden Bay, those are apartments. $90 a share. See, these are things that people don't understand. The beer you drink is being traded on the stock market. Wine, food, cheese, everything. So don't think for 1 minute that this is not a capitalist society and that this is about capitalism, making money. So don't get caught up in Buttigieg and all these Joe Biden and who else is it? Who else is all the Democratic candidates? And said, man, don't get it. Bernie Sanders and all these people. First of all, Bernie Sanders approved the Jews for their reparations, but denied black people for theirs. And then will stand behind Killer Mike and think that's what he gonna tread all the way to the top. Nah. See, ain't nobody yet to ask him, so what is your agenda for melanated people? They got melanated people thinking that you wrong for asking what the agenda is for y'all. When everybody else, when you go around, there's a little Chinatown, a Koreatown, a Vietnamese town, a Cuba town, Mexico town. Hell, in Las Vegas, Nevada, the motherfucking Latinos got they shit, they chop shops everywhere. We don't say nothing. And I'm not hating on them. We don't say anything. But you know what we do? We laugh and talk shit about each other. And we don't try to empower each other for the greater good of what's to come. No, we want to keep each other down. I was having this conversation with family members and I said, man, we act like we want to be like the Jews until it's time for generational wealth. See, that's the difference between us and the Jewish community. They're about generational wealth. They're about their kids being taken care of. Melanated people, if they could, they want to be buried with all their money under the ground. And if they want to be cremated, cremate my money too. They don't want nobody else to have it. But they want everybody to see it. See, in the Jewish community, they deal more with how hard they're going to work to make sure their kids have it a lot easier than them. That's a fact. So when the Jewish community, the elders hit about 60, 70, it ain't even about them no more. They don't care about driving fancy cars and all that. It's not even it. They're worried about their children and then their grandkids and teaching them to replicate what they're being taught. Each one has to teach one. That doesn't mean since you got education and you eat healthy and you don't drink, you go around and, oh, you need to stop drinking that poison and all that. Hey, meet people where they at. Just like, hey, man, y'all can keep doing it. Do your thing. But eventually, you going to want to do something else. That's it. Because I know I did. Now, I may drink on occasion, but shit, I damn for sure can't drink every night like I used to do back in the day. I wouldn't be able to get up. I wouldn't be able to crawl to the bathroom. That's a fact. But just let this be a lesson. If the tobacco industry is going at e-cigarette, this is about domination, dominating the money. If the feds is like, okay, we can only give you 14 days because we're not really tripping. You got dough. Because that melanated sister who sent her kid to the wrong school out of her jurisdiction, guilty, nigga. The pen for you. You going to jail. But Felicity Huffman, 14 days. Even that bitch that's on the Housewives. This bitch want to cry, woe is me. Because I didn't know. I was just signing documents. I didn't know what my husband was doing. Bitch, what you mean you didn't know what he was doing? You're on TV, living in houses that are 10, 20,000 square feet. And you talking about you don't know what he was doing? Then, bitch, you should have been on TV. That's what you get, bitch. I don't feel bad for you. At all. So that's just how I think. But it's just so funny how these people that are part of the dominant society can get book deals off of it and profit off of it. That's why I be laughing. A lot of the times I just laugh because I'm like, man, only in America. If you are not aboriginal to this landmass, native, aboriginal to this landmass, you're immigrants. It'll teach you all about how so many people are here for unearned benefits, talking about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Please, it was life, liberty, and the pursuit of property. That's what it was about. Let me read something. Right, money, power. That's what the tobacco industry don't want to lose. Exactly. Man, so what they're going to start doing is, see, there's a show on Showtime called Billions. It took a turn for the worse, but in the very first 2 seasons, it talked about how billionaires have the inside information on what's going on, and they'll plot, scheme, fuck each other over, stab each other in the back, sabotage somebody else's food so somebody can get sick so their stock will plummet. Oh, and that's what I think the tobacco industry is doing to e-cigarettes. I think they have infiltrated the e-cigarette side of the game, and now they're like, well, fuck it, we'll start putting. That is not the type of meat you be. First of all, melanated people should know most meat has been pasteurized, shot up with steroids, and when it gets inside your body, it deteriorates inside your body and destroys you while it decomposes. That's what it really does. That's why it's hard for me to eat meat. And do I feel a lot better? Hell yeah. Is my thinking a lot better? Yeah. Because let me tell you, you cannot eat no double Western bacon burger with cheese from Carl's Jr. and then think you about to sit down and read a book. The only thing you about to do is you about to have plenty of gas and be on that toilet and shitting. And then sleeping. And then taking Pepto-Bismol after you do it. That's a fact. That's why you better go check out Tahuti Ma Ross herbal shit. I got 3 things of herbs from him. Great. Go check out blackandnoble.com. Get you some sea moss in your life. For real, for real. And then go and you like, well, how am I supposed to make it? Go on YouTube, look up Ty's Conscious Kitchen. He will show you how to make the sea moss. It's not hard. It's very easy. blackandnoble.com is where you go patronize that shit. That's where I get my sea moss from. Melanated business, gotta stick with that. It starts with us. And hopefully when I get my businesses popping, niggas will fuck with me. That's a fact. So before you go buy Gucci and Louis and Fendi and all this shit that the ugly Braxton sister told y'all to go buy, y'all know what I'm talking. I'm talking about the ugly bald-headed bitch that look like a man in drag. Who was fucking with the fat nigga, having everybody think she was really in love with this nigga, but she loved the money and the fame that he has. She didn't give a fuck about that nigga. And now this is a lonely bitch by herself that told y'all it's about Gucci and Louis and Fendi. Look at her. It's an ugly bitch. Look at her. That should tell you all you need to know. And stop paying attention to niggas like Malik Yoba and everybody else. These are all clown ass distractions. Don't let them deter you from what the knowledge you need to be really look at behind what the fuck is going on. Look at, like, why is Malik Yoba talking this shit now? Why are you even doing why, nigga? Let's look at it. Okay, you been on that. Okay, cool. Good for you. Now the fuck out the way. Where is the black shit at? What is going on with my people and what needs to happen with my people? Why the hell are we worried about the LGBTQ and everybody else? We always carry everybody else's groceries but our own. We'll carry everybody else's groceries, cook for everybody else, and then when it's time to go in our kitchen, we ain't got no food, we ain't got no cups, no plates, no spoons, no cakes, no pies, none of that shit. And now we gotta go buy our flour from the Latino community. Then we gotta go buy the stove from the Caucasian community. Then we gotta go buy the forks and spoons from the Chinese community. We borrow and we're beholden to every community but our own. What happened to the melanated community? Where is the melanated community at? Come on, man. We got to do better. Each one has to teach one. And eventually, people going to be like, damn, I'm not getting ahead. Money-wise, teach your kids how to value money the right way. Use it for good. It's a tool. Don't just let them go out buy a whole bunch of Jordans and a whole bunch of fuckery shit, and then when they're in their 20s and then something happened where their parents are removed from them, they don't know how to swim. But hey, man, hey, it's fun, lovely. I'm sorry I hit y'all so early, but I got shit and errands I got to go run and business I got to take care of. Hey, remember, blackandnoble.com. Go check them out. Shout out to them. Shout out to Shani Brown, always in the chat room, showing love. Shout out to all the people that be listening. I don't care if it's 5 people. That's all. I want it to be 5 people. I don't want a whole bunch of people on my page and there's bots and there's niggas that are provocateurs. I don't like that shit. That's a fact. But hey, man, this is the No I Don't Know TV series. There'll be more to come. Hey, man, if you're at your bitch's house and you know you're supposed to be at your baby mama house, and you up here telling your bitch on the side that you love her and your baby mama is texting you because you in her car, nigga, guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.